Hello, my friends, and I welcome all of you back to another Chris Chan Quickie article, and we once again move forward into the more important people of Chris's life once again, where today, ladies and gentlemen, we find there is a man in the pickle suit. Now, as far as we know, he is also referred to as Marvin, who was a part of the Quickie forums and then the Kiwi forums, sort of post 2014, and a lot of the popular meme statuses that attribute towards Chris, as far as we know, stems from not only his hatred of pickles, but his distaste about people who dress like them. The first quote just about summarizes it all up. "The pickle man tricked me again." So, who is this fine young gentleman? Well, let me tell you. The man in the pickle suit, also called the Pickle Man, or the Black Man in the pickle suit, was a common scapegoat of Chris's whom he used to blame whenever he was tricked or conned. The character was first created on the 11th of September 2008 by Lord Silly Nipples, a troll posing as Blanca. Using a fake MySpace page, they claimed that Blanca was in fact a black transvestite in a pickle costume. This led to Chris believing that the pictured man in the pickle suit was in fact a real person. Because the persona was entirely fictional, the character quickly became animalized by trolls, with multiple people operating under the name at once. Eventually, the troll, Marvin, decided to become the Pickle Man. He did this in a now legendary moment when he walked up to Chris while wearing a pickle costume and stole his girl. From then on, Marvin continued to troll Chris by manipulating him behind the scenes to do funny things on camera. After Bob's death, Marvin stopped trolling, instead posting on Kiwi Farms and even becoming the owner of the Quickie. So, by the way, in case you wanted to know exactly who do we, outside of all the people who wrote these articles, who is at least keeping the site going, well, there's your answer, and who has made basically all of these videos possible. He eventually began trying to help Chris. I can see why, but, well, yeah, okay, let's keep going. Such as getting him to go to the doctor after his self-inflicted taint wound, possibly preventing him from actually dying. After the idea guy's manipulation, he became a part of the Guard Dogs, a group that protected Chris from harmful individuals, though this group eventually fell apart. Even though Chris turns basically everyone that annoys him into a villain in his comic, the man in the pickle suit has surprisingly been sparred. The closest he got to featuring as an enemy was when Cly fought Chris using a pickle gun. Oh, and by the way as well, in case yes, also known as Marvin, Harold Wilson, the Pickle Man, Hinslow Free, Canine, Harold, male, race, white, blue, black or Jewish, and is said to be at least American. So let's move on to the sort of various sagas the Pickle Man has daubed himself into. Blanca. Midway through August 2008, a troll on Encyclopedia Dramatica by the name of Lord Silly Nipples created a profile posing Blanca under the name Kawaii Kitsune 123. The troll successfully tricked Chris into believing he was speaking to the real Blanca and solicited nudes of him wearing his mother's bra and underwear. On the 11th of September 2008, isn't it just that, like, I don't want to say whether or not the troll specifically wanted to do for that date, but yeah. The troll revealed himself, leaking Chris's nudes onto Encyclopedia Dramatica and taunting Chris by stating that they were a black pickle-suited transvestite. Chris first mentioned him in Chris Chan Update 9th of October 2008, after Lord Silly Nipples posed as Tiffany Robinson to get him to mail her a copy of his Yep, I'm on TV DVD. The man in the pickle suit tricked me once again by pretending to be a trusted gal pal of mine. At this point, nobody had an idea of who the man in the pickle suit was, so this mention was very confusing. In the Christian Western Channel interview, the interviewers ask who the man in the pickle suit is, prompting him to respond with, "I don't know who that guy is, and I don't think I really would care to know." Yeah, I don't know who that person is. Fair enough, I guess. Perhaps the most iconic mention of the man in the pickle suit is in Chris Chan Update 21st of October 2008, where Chris, lying on a couch, depressed after Blanca Weiss broke up with him, blames the pickle man by stating, "The pickle man tricked me again." Yeah, by the way, just for what they're worth, this is the video in question, and you can see just sort of, well...
Captain's log, stardate, October 21st, 2008. Well, it's done. Blanca and I, well, she broke up with me, because the pickle man tricked me again. A few more stupid photos. Anyway, she saw them, she got angry, she broke up with me. So, I'm sad. And the void in my heart that requires a sweetheart is open again, and it hurts. I hope you jerks and trolls who want to break us up.
Now, it should be worth noting that Chris, despite probably what people have been told about what was going on, is that... I'm actually going to have to blow my nose. 1 second. Chris probably should have taken the initiative and probably took people's advice about the fact that it seemed a little bit too good to be true. The Emily saga. Or at the very least, Chris could have just kept his stuff private. There's also that. While many operated under the moniker, such as Lord Silly Nipples, by far the most notorious individual was Marvin, also known as the Jew in the pickle suit. Like... On the 15th of March 2009, Robert Simmons V visited Chris's church. After attending the church for an hour and a half, Robert leaves and begins talking with Marvin. Okay, sorry about that. I managed to stop sneezing long enough, so let's keep going. I swear, I do not have COVID. I honestly, this is not a COVID situation. Robert talks about what he, Chris, and Bob talked about, and eventually Marvin begins talking about planning to troll Chris. I think he'll recognise me when I steal his girl, when I steal his date. And one of these days, while he's there, I just want to go out and hand out pamphlets saying about how all of the health benefits of masturbation, right? And I'll be in my pickle suit, walking around I'm looking for a complete jackass. Who are they going to pay attention to? You know, the guy who's telling me to go to hell, or the guy who's telling how good it is to touch your ding-dong. On the 19th of March 2009, Chris goes with Bob to a date with Emily, his newest love interest. In a now legendary moment, Marvin, wearing a pickle costume, comes out and asks to watch the movie Watchmen with Emily. Emily accepts, but Chris confusedly asks why he's wearing a pickle costume. Humorously, a random woman comes up and starts talking with the pickle man, talking to him about his pickle costume. When she leaves, Chris begins to rage at the pickle man, calling him out as a troll. Eventually, Emily leaves with the pickle man, leading to Chris loudly yelling, he knows Clyde... In fact, to be honest, I think the best thing to do at this point is just to show you guys what happens. Yeah, only because it's a little bit more... what's the word? Part... Is it part 12 or something like that? It's part 11, okay. It's part 11. This is the one we need to look at.
I think you did.
But I can't.
Yeah, I must say, not really scary. You see, he was tired. Oh, okay. So yeah. You don't mind if I have my hand on your shoulder? Not for too long. Okay. Not for too long. Okay. This is wow. I finally get this beautiful girl in front of me.
Oh, thank you.
And she actually got to know me.
Yeah.
It's Yeah. So what's the reason you need your glasses for? I'm nearsighted myself.
Yeah, I'm nearsighted as well.
Actually,
I
that's
don't have
just
very good
get
eyes.
to the point.
It's like, we're close to, it's like, we don't need him now that he's young and I'm old and decrepit. Why don't he take me?
Ah, here we go.
Keep the memories,
Yeah.
Out from a nearby store, the pickle man, donning a pickle costume, intrudes on them.
Yeah, so, you want to go see Watchmen with you?
I haven't seen
No.
that movie.
Any particular reason why you're dressed up like that? Come on, Emily.
What?
Oh, hey, maybe
Wait.
you want to go with me. You wanna go see Watchmen?
No.
Lots of,
Wait, what's wrong?
Man in the pickle suit. Apparently this guy's amongst the trolls. You think?
What the... What are you?
I'm a pickle.
You're a pickle. I love pickles.
Yeah, pickle is very cool.
And who are you advertising for?
Not really advertising, just for...
You're just dressed up as a pickle?
Just for fun.
Yeah?
But this is a pickle to haunt me. You think?
You could even hear Chris like silently, like sigh in the background as well. Is that he can't believe that he's that smooth. Like, no, all credit to Marvin and all that. He is incredibly smooth with this, and that, well, he must be like a better actor than we are, to be honest, to pull this off. And the fact is that, well, Chris is literally the only one who knows the truth. That's what's scary about this in a very novel sort of way. It's like something out of Inside Number 9.
You're just bored.
Yep. You don't even know me. Are you sure? You have internet access? Lots of people have internet access.
I mean,
You
yeah,
know
it was
Time, you
2009.
know Q. No, I do not. You know about Encyclopedia Dramatica? No, I do not. You go see Watchmen? No. She's heading over to. She's heading back to her hometown. Oh, Watchmen would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right.
Well, let's go see it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah?
You've probably already seen Watchmen, haven't you? I've heard of Watchmen.
What's wrong with him?
Something. You like pickles? Yeah, I do not like pickles. Pickle. And also, particularly a guy that pickles suit tricked me on the internet, pretending he was Blanca.
There's nothing wrong with him.
Who's Blanca? I think you're making the lady a little uncomfortable there, Chris. I'm sorry, Emily.
It's okay. I think I have to go to the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go change my tampon.
Of course.
Well, we're gonna go now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to the bathroom.
You're not going where she's going. We're leaving together. Are you with her? Now we are. We're gonna go. No, she's going back. No, you gotta go back to West Virginia, don't you? We're gonna see Washington.
Watchmen's not that long of a movie.
Yeah, 5-hour drive.
Yeah, and also Watchmen is like 2.5. It's nearly a 3-hour film as well. And if it's like the Zack Snyder cut, which they would release on, I'm gonna see this again.
It'll be okay. I gotta go to the bathroom. Tampon time.
Emily spends 4 minutes in the bathroom while the pickle man and Chris have a conversation outside.
Yeah. My car's that way.
Okay.
Chris, you don't need to walk me to my car.
Okay. Well,
All right.
So you have yourself a safe trip back to West Virginia.
Okay, I might call you on Skype later.
Okay. Just take care.
You too.
Hey.
No. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
Take care. Be safe.
All right, you too.
Yeah, he knows. That just about says it all. Yeah, doesn't it? So, yeah, also that's just to give you like a little insight as to how that is. After this event, Emily called Chris, explaining that he was too touchy with her. She begins to talk about how the man in the pickle suit was a perfect gentleman, and she went on a date with him, ending with the two of them having sex. She ends then by saying that every woman he mistreats will be stolen by the pickle man, and that's why he needs to treat them right. YouTube channel. In October 2009, the Jew in the pickle suit established a YouTube account that suggested he had come out of retirement one last time to deal a final crushing blow upon the man-child. Despite his promise that Chris would never complete his fuck quest, Chris ended up losing his virginity in 2012 Chris never responded to any of these videos.
It's been a long time, Chris. I'll cut right to the chase.
Actually, to be honest, I'm kind of glad they decided to cut these parts from the documentary, because it's kind of just, well, yeah, that's how it is. A few months after these videos, Love You Long Time used the account to post PVCC new info on Chris and Barbara spoon each other. The man in the pickle suit also has multiple other social medias, including a still active Facebook and a now suspended Twitter account. Future mentions by Chris. Chris quickly forgot about the pickle man after the Emily date, moving on to his new girlfriend Ivy, who he falls madly in love with. The man in the pickle suit makes an appearance in the music video Quick Boyfriend. First, a picture of him on a piece of paper appears next to a picture of Blanca on a separate piece of paper, before it quickly gets replaced with a prop paper image of Chris, implying that he's a better boyfriend than the pickle man. The same happens with Jesse Ruddy. Confusingly, he then shows the pickle man with Mary Lee Walsh, before he gets replaced by a picture of a random man, with Chris saying, "What the hell's you thinking with that damn pickle suit?" and a hedgehog moving across the screen and saying, "Howard." It's meant to be something from Monty Python, but I don't really think Chris knows what was going on. The line, "What the hell's were you thinking with that damn pickle suit?" also appears in other variations of Chris's boyfriend, such as in Chris Humps his PS3 and Damien and Taria, "Please don't leave me, I need you." He also mentions him in descriptions, referring to him as Howard, supposedly his name. Anyway, Spiny Norman go after Howard and the pickle-suited cult. Chris mentions the pickle man again shortly after in I Am the True Original Christopher Weston Chandler, a video mostly addressed to Liquid Chris. Howard, the fiend from the cult of pickle-suited fiends, divine retribution for the day you stole Emily, you damn watchman. He then cuts to an image of Mary Lee Walsh and the pickle man. Okay, so in Chris Drops the N-Bomb, released on the 17th of March 2010, Chris called Surfshark Tito a trollin' stupid, pickle-suited, and then the N-word. He also calls him this in the Surfshark Tito emails. Later, in the Clyde and Tito PS3 emails, Tito informs Chris that a pickle man would give him a briefcase containing $9,000, which Chris actually believed. When he fails to arrive, Tito tells Chris that he has multiple pickle men at Fashion Square Mall and tells him to show up there, where a woman with a pickle tattoo on her breast will give him the money. We'll cover more of this when it comes to stuff like, Surfshark Tito and Chris destroying his PS3. For reasons. Behind the scenes manipulations. In later years, Marvin has revealed on Kiwi Farms that he had much more major role in trolling than previously suspected, and revealed insights into previous trolling plans. It was revealed that the majority of Chris's videos and trolling sagas were carefully planned, with trolls manipulating Chris to perform such humorous acts. Chris never took the bait from trolls. All of the past trolling was artificially constructed by a group of people with lots of control over Chris. It's fake. Chris doesn't really spurg out over criticism on his own like you think based on what the quickie portrays. The point I'm trying to make is that we knew Chris's psychology very well, so we knew what to say to him to get him riled up, but those situations were very artificial. The trolling makes people think Chris just randomly gets mad and starts yelling at people if you call Sonic gay, or call Sonic gay. The YouTube videos leaves out all the calls and messages from e-girlfriends that built up Chris's reaction. For every trolling saga, there was a bunch of stuff happening in the background. Without trolls, Chris is pretty different. I mean, not in his personality, of course. He's pretty much the same person regardless. But his reactions on YouTube were highly inflated by troll girlfriends whispering shit to him behind the scenes. "Oh Chris, you're not just going to take that, are you? Chris, I need a man who can stand up for himself, not just a little wuss. It takes quite a bit to whip Chris up into a frenzy, and it's hard to keep it going. Everyone wants to be the next Clyde Cash. The problem is that the public image of Clyde Cash and other trolls is that we make it look so easy, because the quickie doesn't document all the backroom dealings that enabled all the fun of the past. People think that all it takes to get Chris is to message him with something antagonizing. It was never that easy. We had to manipulate Chris into getting off his lazy ass and doing something. So, for example, Chris initially wanted to ignore Liquid. We had to tell him that if he didn't publicly refute Liquid, it could be used against him to steal the Solitude copyright. Chris is lazy and, by default, ignores most trolling. So the end result of this is that Chris has a stream of people trying to sequel on other trolls, in the hopes that they'll have Chris's ear and be able to architect the next saga. White Knights were subverted, their messages blocked, deleted before Chris could see them. If they got through, trolls would leak their conversations with Chris and accuse the helper of being the culprit. Trolls had a vice-like grip of Chris, and that's only loosened when they willingly gave up when Bob died. Since then, other trolls moved in and took up the mantle. But even if the conversation of who is or who isn't a troll comes up with Chris, he's still not playing on level ground. Someone accuses Julie of being a troll. Julie says she's not a troll. Who should Chris pick? What if it's two people saying Julie's not a troll? 3, 4? Some of Chris's IRL friends saying she's not a troll. Almost every person in his life. When people try to help Chris, he's not knowledgeable, throwing that help away. He cannot identify help. There's a platter with 20 different options, and one of these options is help. The rest are people trying to fuck him over. The numbers are not in Chris's favour. Chris doesn't go to work, he doesn't go to school, he doesn't have peers to socialise with. Think about where your typical 36-year-old life is in life. No 36-year-old is going to befriend Chris. The only people Chris talks to are internet weirdos, usually trying to fuck with him, or the occasional random good Samaritan. He's only got a small group of people to socialise with, and most of that group has been filled up by trolls. They've invaded his life IRL too, as we've seen. People will drive to his house to talk to him, and these two trolls have been inside Chris's house. Post Pickle Man. After his tenure as the Pickle Man in the pickle suit, Marvin would remain active in the Quick community, providing insights into prior trolling events, and notably becoming the owner of the Quickie. It was revealed that he, along with other trolls, had coerced Chris into recording basically every notable video due to troll manipulation. Marvin gained relevancy once again when he arranged for Chris to start dating Catherine, starting a new saga. So when it comes to Catherine, we actually used extensive inside information to orchestrate that. It actually affected Chris mentally way more than we thought it would, because he kept citing that 98% compatibility rating persistently when Catherine tried to break up with him. We specifically matched every answer we made with every answer he made. It's not that it would be impossible to catfish him independently, but we have aggressively penetrating intelligence on his behaviour and actions. Like trolling Chris is a science, not an art. You don't persuade Chris to fall for your shtick. You pay people who can set you up ahead of time. We got Chris to drive 3 states over, not because Chris is dumb and we've master manipulators, but because we had an inside source. On September 2015, Marvin leaked 2 images of Chris with some menstrual pads. A month later, he attended one of Chris's trials for his GameStop assault and posted about it on Kiwi Farms. In February of 2016, Marvin leaked the video Chris's specimen sample, presumably after being sent it from Sam and Ellen. It was also around this time that Marvin began posting new information on Chris and Barb's relationship on Kiwi Farms. Though it is unknown how he acquired this, whether it's through interacting with them himself or through another source, in July of 2016, Chris, believing that a vagina was growing under his skin, stabbed at his taint with a knife. After this happened, Marvin pressured Chris to go to the doctor, though it was incredibly hard to do so. Fatty won't die this time, he's seeing a doctor. I'm tired of playing counselor to an exceptional individual who thinks he can grow a vagina. We got pissed and bitched at Chris until he went to the ER. We demanded Chris send us pictures of the ER docs. The ER docs sounded like Fatty went there and said, "Lol, my nuts hurt," and the doctors were like, "Roll dice, just take Tylenol and call me if the pain gets worse." We bitched at Chris until we got an actual human to put him in a stirpus and give him an opinion. These messages reveal that Marvin is still in contact with Chris, though it is unknown how or to what extent he is. In August of 2017, Chris created a sock puppet account named Nightstar2891, which he used to white knight himself on Twitter. Marvin DM'd Nightstar, becoming friends with her, before accusing Nightstar of actually being Chris. Eventually, in order to prove that she wasn't Chris, Nightstar posted DMs of her and Chris talking. In reality, Chris using the two accounts to talk to himself, notably using the Chris account he mentioned remembering Marvin. "Howard, I remember him. He is definitely one of those trolls, ugh, and he attempted to turn you against me like that? That is just so low. Makes me feel like blowing my fuse. I need to take a deep breath." On the 13th of December 2018, Marvin tweeted at Chris, informing him of one of the Chris Chan panels at the MagFest convention in a month. Chris, not realizing it was the Pickle Man, was surprised at this, and eventually decided to go. Marvin also went and commented on the Kiwi Farms. Heh. So what everyone seems to be wondering, does Chris smell? No, at least there isn't like some miasma cloud hanging around him. I was pretty close to him, but I obviously don't stick my nose in his shirt or anything. So he's got a smell. You definitely won't notice anything just casually hanging around him. And even if you really are determined to get a whiff, it's probably not that strong. It helps that it's the winter, and so he's not hustling around in the heat. No perfume or axe this time either. Guard dogs. In 2017, the idea guy reached out to Marvin, informing him of his trolling plans. Marvin did not like his trolling, but didn't think that it was his place to stop the trolls based on if he found him funny, so he let him troll Chris. Probably should have stepped in there like Marvin. I think that was you probably should have done that. In April 2018, the captain discovered that the idea guy's trolling was far worse than it seemed, and reached the level of extortion. Captain went to Marvin with this information, who was angered at the criminal actions by the idea guys. He began coaching the captain on how to use Chris's account and pretend to be Chris while talking to them, in order to stall for time. Marvin collected the Discord usernames and IPs of the idea guys. Eventually, Marvin built a script that ripped all the chat logs from Discord. From this point forward, Marvin, the captain, and Noel formed a group known as the Guard Dogs, who protected Chris from harmful individuals such as the idea guys. Marvin was given access to Chris's email and social media. He blocked Weens and other malicious individuals. Chris was aware Marvin had access, commenting in the place in December of 2019 that Marvin had blocked Jacob Sockness' Twitter account. That probably says quite a lot, and, well, considering that the entire gallery is something I just basically had to delete, and, well, that is basically it, ladies and gentlemen. What started off as we thought, oh, it was just so easy because Chris would get reacted to it. Well, as it turns out, no. Probably Marvin, who's been with the story since as long as maybe you or I have, knows the shtick inside out. He knows that obviously Chris isn't just going to fall for every single thing hook, line, and sinker. We know that Chris doesn't really take much initiative and is quite gullible at times, but there are also times when Chris seems to know what he's doing. But then at least Marvin did sort of the right thing in the end by actually stopping the accounts of the idea guys and Sockness. I apologize if I sound like crap throughout this video, and I'll make sure to do videos in the future where I'm sounding probably better than this. So I apologize for that. And with all that being said, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to talk with you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.